Welcome to my Chinese horror movie reviews. In this special format, we'll not only check out the movie, but we will explain the ending as well, because if you know anything about Chinese horror movies, then you know they aren't very conventional. In this episode, we're going to take a look at a pretty decent horror thriller movie. Hi, I'm the Artie Dance from Asian Film Fans, and welcome to this review of Haunted Road, a creepy chiller set in a roadside rest centre. Let's check this one out. 7 young adults driving to a friend's wedding happen across a horrible car accident. They briefly stop but don't render assistance to the young injured woman who seems to be still alive. Instead, one of them steals a handbag and they head off. A short while later, their car breaks down and they manage to push it to a roadside service centre, complete with a restaurant, mechanic and several convenience stores. But strangely, there's no one around. They decide they're going to help themselves to as much food and drink as they can consume, and as they slowly start to investigate their surroundings, they start winding up dead. The surviving members receive text messages with images that indicate how the next person will die, and they begin to turn on each other in their selfish desire to survive. Now I want to play a game with you. I'm going to give you 3 options, and you're going to guess how this movie is explained. Your options are: 1. The woman is still alive and she stalks them in the service centre. 2. They get so drunk they hallucinate the whole thing. Or 3. It's all a dream sequence by one of the characters. The answer will be revealed in the explanation section. As you know by now, most Chinese horror movies end up being thrillers, but this movie is a little unique in that it feels like a thriller but keeps the horror elements in. The story and the way the movie tells it is very good. It makes complete sense, and there are no plot holes once you realise what the final reveal of the movie is. The characters, however, aren't very likeable. They're selfish and horrible, and while it might seem off-putting, it actually suits the film, and again, is all explained in the reveal. If you're a fan of Korean actresses, this movie features Soo Hong in the lead role. She's made quite a few Korean and Chinese horror movies, including a role in 2003's Wishing Stairs, 2015's Malice, and 2018's The Bystander. It's a short film, clocking in at a fraction under 90 minutes. The acting is solid, the directing is decent, the effects are good, but just the pacing in the beginning is a little bit slow. It's very reminiscent of the way 80s and 90s horror movies used to build up the tension, so it's a bit of a throwback to that style. There is one particular murder of a character which is quite creative, and it's the character who gets chopped up with her parts thrown in a plastic bucket. While it's not gory, I quite liked it. There's a terrific scene where one of our characters makes his way to a restaurant and is relieved to find out that there are people in the store eating. As the scene progresses, it's great when he starts to flip out and realizes there's actually no one there. And the best part of this scene is that it's all one take. And I'm a sucker for one-take shots in horror films. Most of the creepy horror scenes are well done, but there is nothing here you've never seen before. The toilet scenes are a great example. The tension and creepiness is great, but Roadhouse toilets have always been a horror movie staple, and in my opinion, Michael Myers still does it better. Now before we move on, let's learn another Chinese word, 救我. This means help me, but specifically in situations when you are in danger, such as a horror film. 救我. While mostly the tension in the movie is good, there is one element that is overused far too much, and that is the powering off the lights trope. It happens far too frequently to the point of it being rather obvious it's about to occur. And while I get that it might be likely in the underpass that the characters walk through, it's unbelievable in the indoor settings, especially as the lights go out one by one. It just screams horror movie trope. One big thing that I didn't like was that there were no introductions to the characters. Think about most horror movies you watch, and in the first scene you meet a character, usually someone says their name so you know who they are. But unless it was lost in the subtitle translation, which was pretty decent for once, that doesn't occur in this film. Eventually you find out everyone's name, but I wouldn't be able to confidently identify who was who in this film. This is a spoiler section, so if you ever plan on watching this film, maybe skip this bit. Back to the 3 choices I gave you earlier in the video. If you guessed it was all a dream sequence by one of the characters, then you'd be correct. Well done. But which character is having the dream? Well, it's the woman who was left dying in the car accident. I don't feel cheated by this ending because I think it suits the film. The 6 other people in the film were actually all trying to help her. In reality, they weren't the horrible people she imagined, but they were good, honest people trying to do the right thing. She got into an accident due to the breakup with her boyfriend. She was betrayed by him. We discover she's a victim of bullying since childhood by her father and classmates. All the scenes and deaths in the movie are projections of the revenge she wants to get on all the people who have wronged her as she lay dying. She just visualizes these deaths upon the 6 people who have come to rescue her. It's actually a great ending, and it fits the film. With these heavy restrictions on horror films, it's great when writers and directors usually find clever ways to use them to their advantage. This one is worth a watch. While a little slow in the first half, it ramps it up in the second half and you get an ending that suits the film and doesn't feel like you've been cheated. In general horror movie terms, in a scale of 1 to 5, this movie gets a 3 because it's clever and it's something that directors without the same restrictions the Chinese would have would most likely make as well. With my patent pending ghost rating, which stands for great horror or stupid trash, this movie gets 5 ghosts. For a Chinese horror movie, this is pretty damn good. And it has a sequel which I hope to check out shortly. Let's just hope it's as good as this. I hope you enjoyed this look at Haunted Road. This is a regular video series, so please press like if you enjoyed this film and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you for watching.